I don't really know if there's a lot I can say about this game, although I will comment on some of the annoying antics from some of the Bucks players. But as far as the game goes, what happened on the court, Bulls never led in this one. They kept it somewhat competitive here and there through the first 3 quarters, staying connected as much as they could, but then just completely lost their composure and crumbled in the 4th quarter, letting their frustrations get to them by the lack of calls, the annoying antics from guys like Bobby Portis and Patrick Beverley. Bucks could be physical all they wanted, and nothing would get called, but the second the Bulls started getting physical, the whistle was blown. But even with that, the guys got to be smarter, maintain their composure. DeMar getting that flagrant and that technical on Bobby Portis after he started taunting him off of a rebound. Caruso got a technical foul, which is rare for him. And then, of course, Vucevic trying to end AJ Green's life with a hard foul going up for the basket, which was purely out of frustration for not getting a call on the other end for Bobby Portis being aggressive defending him in the post, which he had a case. He was getting fouled in that play. But don't come down on the other end and hack someone to get yourself kicked out of the game and give the Bucks 2 free throws and the ball. But yeah, once the Bulls started doing that, you knew it was over. I like that they were playing with passion. I like that they were being demonstrative with the refs, but you can't let the refs dictate the game. And we've seen this with the Bulls a lot, where they complain a lot to the refs and they either don't get back on defense as a result of it, or it costs them a technical foul. But anyway, yeah, I mean, in this game, I didn't expect the Bulls to win. I mean, for one, the Bucks are playing much better since the All-Star break, and with the Bulls shorthanded without Patrick Williams or Torrey Craig, you knew that Giannis was going to be able to get whatever he wanted, and indeed he did. He likely would have put up 50 on us had it not gone into garbage time in those final few minutes, but 46 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, just nothing the Bulls could really do to stop this guy outside of just fouling him, which they did a lot. Damian Lillard continues to struggle against the Bulls, by the way. Every time we've played the Bucks this season, Dame has had an underwhelming game. 16 points, 4 for 18 from the floor. Made me happy because I hit on my underdog fantasy pick'em tonight. If you guys saw my community post from earlier today, I took the higher on Coby and Io for points, which they just narrowly beat out because Coby still struggled to shoot tonight, but he eventually got things going a little bit in the 4th quarter and ended the game with 22 points. And then I took the lower on Damian Lillard for his points, rebound, and assist. Use the link in the description, by the way, if you're interested in Underdog Fantasy. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. But anyway, I was a little more comfortable by the way I saw Coby play tonight, at least in the second half, because in the first half, he struggled with his shooting. He wasn't making the right plays, trying to take Giannis one-on-one and turning the ball over. But in the second half, he was making better plays, was driving to the basket and getting to the basket more effectively and actually finishing. Still, though, just has not been the same player. Has not been the same Coby that we were seeing leading up to the All-Star break. The confidence also isn't there like we used to see, which is a bit concerning. Again, I have to think that some of it is fatigue, but a part of me thinks, I don't know, maybe something else is going on. DeMar, very quiet tonight on offense. He didn't have a single field goal in the first half. I feel like the bulk of his scoring came in the 3rd quarter. Only took 13 shots in total in this game. Just went to the line twice, only 12 points. He did have 9 assists though, so he was contributing in other ways. But the Bucks really shut down DeMar and not being able to get anything going. Caruso had a solid game, going for 11 points, 3 for 6 from 3. He had a team high -2 in blocks plus minus. Yes, -2 was a team high. Vucevic had a solid first half, a really good first quarter where he was getting the bulk of the Bulls scoring, but then lost his cool in the second half and obviously ended his night early. 17 points, 8 for 18 from the floor, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a -19 when Vucevic was on the court tonight. Io was solid, like some bad plays here and there on offense where he was just a little out of control, but overall compared to the rest of the roster, he was decent offensively. 15 points, 6 for 12, 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Great job guarding Damian Lillard and keeping him at bay. Same with Alex Caruso, by the way. And then how about Batum? You had that weird air ball to start the game where it literally came up like 5 feet short. I don't know if it was partially blocked, but it looked pretty bad either way, but it didn't stop him from continuing to try. Gotta love that confidence for which he plays. Kept shooting it and hit a couple big threes. Had that big one at the end of the 3rd quarter to bring the Bulls within 10 points. 6 points, 4 rebounds for Batum. You know, I know it's only been 2 games with him, but it does kind of make you wonder, why didn't the Bulls sign this guy to start the season? Seems like he could have been a good contributing piece to help with the Bulls' outside shooting throughout the year. Which I know it's easy to say that now when the Bulls are down a lot of guys and he's only getting minutes because of that, and it would have been very unlikely for him to be in the rotation earlier in the year when the Bulls were healthy, but still, dude can play. Has a good feel for the game, and above all, shooting, something the Bulls have needed for some time now. But anyway, what can you do? Not sure if it would have really changed things all that much for this team that has a date with the 9th seed as it is. I did want to say something about Bobby Portis though, because let's be real. He should have been called for that foul on Vucevic. He definitely taunted DeMar DeRozan that led to DeMar getting a technical foul, which I don't mind the competitiveness. I don't mind the trash talking. It's actually something I really liked about Bobby when he was with the Bulls. But the animosity that Bobby Portis has towards this organization, because we all know he takes things up a notch when he plays against Chicago and makes it a point to let them know, hey, this is what you could have had. The animosity when he plays against the Bulls as if he has some sort of vendetta against the franchise. It's almost like he forgot that he really was the one who chose to leave Chicago. I know the Bulls traded Bobby Portis during that rebuild to the Wizards and he was devastated by that, but what people forget is that the Bulls offered him a pretty sizable extension to his rookie scale deal and he turned it down. He thought he was worth way more than he actually was, and the Bulls, rather than letting him walk in free agency, moved him in a trade to get something in return. That's understandable. Not that they really got much in exchange for him. It was just Otto Porter, and I believe there was some cash or maybe some second-round capital included. But the Bulls wanted him to stay, and he wanted more money. And let's also not forget the fact that Portis punched Mirotic in the face in practice right before the start of the season that Mirotic had to be sidelined for, and the Bulls still kept Bobby Portis around and traded Mirotic instead. It's not like the Bulls pulled some shady deal and said, yeah, we don't like you, Bobby, you're not really that good, take your bags and go elsewhere. So yeah, I don't understand why Portis takes these matchups so personally. It's really bizarre to me, and most of the time he just looks like a tool when he's getting in the guy's face and taunting a player after getting a rebound. And then Patrick Beverley, listen, I love that he's a Chicago guy, plays hard, hustles, knows how to get under players' skin, was solid for the Bulls when they had him last year for half the season, but the whole too small thing is getting a little old, especially when you're doing it against a rookie second-round pick when you're up 20+ points. That's just cringe. And he even did it when he got fouled on a shot and missed the shot. Like, what are we doing here? You're giving someone a too small after you just got fouled and missed a shot? And don't get me wrong, Pat went off on the Bulls in the fourth quarter. I believe he had like 10 straight points for a stretch, but chirping at the bench, shouting at the fans, this is my city, when you're going up against a depleted team and you're up big, like, come on now. We love you, bro. But there's a reason you keep getting moved from team to team. Nah, I thought Pat Bev just looked silly out there tonight with some of those antics. Anyway, enough ranting about those guys. That's all I really have to say about this game. I'm not going to upload this until the morning because I'm sure you're all asleep over in Chicago or hopefully doing something fun on a Friday night, unlike myself who has kids in bed. Anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts were on the game. Sign up for Underdog Fantasy if you're interested. Free money to get your deposit doubled. As always, be sure to subscribe and I will see you guys in the next one.